The Goblin Road Farm. Today, I am making the separator pieces for the AZ hives. The separators are going to separate each of the four chambers of the AZ hive. Two deep chambers and two medium chambers. The first thing I'm doing here is I am cutting the side pieces. The side pieces are going to be kind of a toothy looking board that are going to have dado slots cut so that pieces can be placed perpendicular to them that are going to actually support each of the frames. So what I've done is I have a 3/4 inch wide piece of wood that is screwed to the base of the crosscut sled, and that piece is 3/4 of an inch away from where the dado blade is. This is going to result in a toothy looking board that has 3/4 of an inch of a dado cut, followed by 3/4 of an inch of untouched wood, followed by 3/4 of an inch of a dado cut. To make a dado cut, I pick up the wood and I place it, the new cut, over the stop board. The stop board is only about a 1/4 inch high, so that it will not interfere with the wood beyond the channel cut for the dado channel. The dado channel itself is about I'd say 3/8 of an inch thick. And on each end, I am going to use the dado blade to extend the size of the groove so that the front part is going to be about 2 inches wide and the back part is going to be about 4 inches. Pretty much what it's going to look like. It still needs some more of the wood cut out from the ends. But you can see two of the pieces I've already ripped to 3/4 of an inch wide, what it's going to end up looking like. This board here is a board that I'm using for the pieces that are going to run perpendicular to the side pieces. Each end is going to have a 3/4 inch wide dado channel in it, and that dado channel is going to fit inside the other dado channel to make a single surface. Now I'm ripping the board that's going to be the side piece into 3/4 inch wide strips. Of the separators is only going to have two of these, but because I'm making this in assembly line fashion, I need to make many more of these. I'm actually making 54 separators. I only need 48, so that each of the 12 AZ hives has 4 of them. But I wanted to make a few extras in case something got broken. And it's a lot easier to make additional ones now than to go back and set everything back up. So now I'm laying out the side pieces. I'm putting some glue in the trough. Now I am putting the support pieces that are run between the two side pieces and which are going to support the frames. They each fit into the dado cut almost perfectly so that by default the piece ends up almost perfectly square. I'm just checking that. Maybe just a very slight adjustment there. Now I'm using an air tool that is about a ½ inch, maybe a little bit longer of a staple. So this is that was what the finished piece is going to look like. I'm using my planer, or I'm sorry, my joiner, to just even up the sides, get rid of any overlap, so that I have a nice straight side to the separator. And here I am on the stationary sander, just sanding both the edges, and I'm going to sand the surface of it as well, just to make sure that everything's smooth and it's essentially just one flat solid piece of wood. Doing both sides of it. Right. Now that the piece has had a chance to completely dry, it's been sanded and joined, I have the frame separators. I have metal frame separators on one side, and what I'm doing here is I have uh, ripped a very small piece of wood into small pieces that I'm lining up with the metal separator. I'm using another metal separator as a guide. I'm just gluing it. So that everything matches up. So I'm going to have a metal separator at one end, and I'm going to have just wood separators at the other end. One additional thing I have done that's off camera is I glued an additional 3/4 of an inch wide piece of wood that was about ½ an inch high on top of the side pieces, just to give it extra strength, because I became concerned that there might be too much stress on that small piece of wood where I cut the dados out, so it was only about 3/8 of an inch wide. So now it's a much stronger piece, and I have 54 of them, and now I'm ready to go on to the next step of the bee house project, which is going to be the electrical work.